Okay. Well, Sunday just gone, I got baptized. Yes, I did. So that's some news I wanted to share before I go into the reading for today. And actually, my other readings, some days I've felt a bit, what's the point? Because no one's really going to see it and stuff like that. But I got a word from the Lord to say, just keep being obedient and persevere. Because I don't know where this will go. I don't know who's going to be seeing it. So yeah, and today's one I felt a lot happier reading this one. Yeah, I enjoyed it today, marking it out for you guys. But here we go. Romans 9:30 to 10:21. Israel's unbelief. What then shall we say? That the Gentiles who did not pursue righteousness have attained it, a righteousness that is by faith? But Israel who pursued a law of righteousness has not attained it. Why? They pursued it not by faith, but by works. They stumbled over the stumbling stone, as it is written, See, I lay in Zion a stone that causes men to stumble. The one who trusts in him will never be put to shame. So here we can see that that following the rules, that the Israelites were just following rules, and it wasn't with their heart. It wasn't with their heart. I can give you an analogy for this. It would be a bit like if you've got a child and you ask them to go and the rules are that they've got to wash up every day before they go to bed. So you go in the kitchen and they've washed up, but they've left food in the plug sink hole. They've not wiped down the sides. Yeah, it's just like you still got to go over and wipe down the sides or clean out the muck in the plug hole. It shows that the person's just doing, but they're not doing it with their heart. Do you understand? It shows that they're just I just got to do this for mom or do this for dad because that's the rules. But if you ask a child to go and wash up, and when they went into the kitchen, they washed up, they packed away their dishes, they wiped down the sink, and they even swept the floor, then that's different because you've given the rules to wash up. But when you say that, when you tell your child to go and do the washing up, you mean go and tidy up the kitchen, make it straight. So it's in the same way that this is saying that they were following the letter of the law, but not the heart, the essence of the law. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, Israelites, I can testify about them that they are zealous for God, but their zealous is not based on knowledge, since they did not know the righteousness that comes from God, sought to establish their own. They did not submit to God's righteousness. So basically, people are trying to have their own righteousness, their own salvation. Yeah. They're trying to do works to say, like, I've done all of this and this is why I should get into the kingdom of heaven. I was found by those who did not seek me. I revealed myself to those who did not ask for me. That's speaking of the Gentiles. Christ is the end of the law, so that there may be righteousness for everyone who believes. So he was the end of the law, and then the new covenant came in. The old covenant, with all its rules and regulations, were not put away in the sense that, they were put away in the sense that all the laws all add up to the same thing, is to honor God with all your heart and love him with all your soul. and to love one another as yourself. So not coveting a neighbor, not robbing someone, not committing adultery, all those things, you're hurting somebody else. When it comes to God, it's honoring him with love, praise, gratitude, being obedient to him. That if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you confess and are saved. Just as I said there before, it's about the nature of the heart. So just like you have the child that will just go in and wash up the plates but leave food in a sinkhole and not wipe down the sides, and then you have the other child when you say, can you go wash up, clean up the kitchen, they wipe down the sides, they mop or whatever, they go beyond the bare minimum of the rule that they have to clean, wash up. For there is no difference between Jew or Gentiles. Lord of all, richly bless all who call on him. So even though the Jews are God's chosen people, there are no difference between them and us. How then can they call on the one they have not believed? So that goes for anybody that has not believed in the name and the Lord Jesus Christ. If they don't believe, then they can't call upon him. That's why those that follow Islam, they can't say that they know the Father because they don't call upon the name of Jesus. Then it goes on to say, not here. How then can they call on the one they have not believed in, not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can they preach unless they are sent? So this is why he says that all the ends of the world will hear the gospel before his return. Because if you haven't heard about him, then you can't call upon his name. And people can't preach about Jesus if they haven't been given the revelation, if they haven't been sent by God to preach the word of the gospel. But not all Israelites accept the good news. Now, we can say that just about the Jews, but we can also say that about everyday people that just don't want to believe, atheists, etc. Again I ask, did Israel not understand? And you can use that again to today's people, atheists. Did they not understand? And Isaiah boldly says, I was found by those who did not seek me. I revealed myself to those who did not ask for me. So atheists, Muslims, Hindus, he says here, I have revealed myself to those who did not ask for me. But concerning Israel, he says, all day long I have held out my hand to the disobedient and obstinate people. Even though people have been really bad, he still held out his hand for them. He's still yearning for them to come to him. I've put, some people have scales over their eyes. There is verses about he has blinded the people until a certain time. So especially with the Jews, a lot of them have scales over their eyes until the time is right. And that will be in the tribulation time, that their eyes will be opened and that they will fall to their knees and bow down to the Messiah Jesus. I believe that's when a lot of Muslims as well will come to the faith. But there's no point arguing with people about Jesus. If they can't receive what you're saying, leave it alone, because they could have scales over their eyes, and their time to be, their eyes to be open could be later on. So don't argue with people about Jesus. He says, do not throw pearls to swines. And he also says, if they don't receive you, dust off the dirt off your feet. You'll get to find those scriptures somewhere. Okay, well, that's it for today. So that's Romans 9:30 to 10:21.